ignore background noise and things in this room. I've been having a big issue with this project that I want to do. I want to do a project on power lines, and I have not, I don't understand them. The things that I think are cool are things I don't understand. And like there's concepts that I have that just don't relate to what the actual thing is, which has been frustrating for me. Like recently I had this one idea, and it was like, these are shitty drawings because they took a while or whatever for some reason. I wanted to do something like this. This would be drawn as a proposal, as a look at this idea that I have. Land, mountains, what if power lines existed like this? Which this is like a funny haha thought. And it's cool, whatever. Maybe it's not though, because I'm watching all these videos on the way that power lines work, which is great. I've been putting this off because this debunks all of this, which maybe that's the point. Maybe that's why this should be drawn better, because this took 10 minutes. Maybe this should exist in a more interesting and compelling fashion, because that's the point, that the things don't work like this. But now, like, I'm taking notes. Like, I'm trying to take notes, and some of the stuff that is like interesting to me right now, and I need these thoughts to be fledged out into these projects. That's why I'm putting them into here so I can go back. One of the things that I've always thought is interesting is looking at something, at an object, at a machine, at a function, and knowing that it has a purpose, but you don't know the purpose. And like that's a crazy presence to me. I don't understand that. And that's something that I don't understand and I love, because I think every single person has to have that and does have that and will have that, believe it or not. And it's like there's a childhood part of that that's like, mommy, how does the sun work? Mommy, how does this rock work? You know what I mean? And there's also an adult version of that of, how does the sun work? How does this rock work? And I don't think anybody should ever lose that. Like, I think we are starting to lose that. I think as a people, we're starting to lose that, how does this thing work? And it's like, how this thing works because you were told how this thing works. But when you see something that you don't understand and still know that it has a purpose, and even further, has a purpose that you benefit from that you don't even understand. Like, I love that kind of stuff. That's how I feel. Maybe that's what power lines are to me. I feel like I haven't been able to comprehend it. And I think with power lines specifically, I've always loved looking at them. Like, I love that they're all different, and I love that it's such a, like, I'm like, somebody built this and built this and built this. And, like, you could say that about anything. But, like, with power lines, I'm like, I don't understand any of the components because I'm a studio art major. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm Googling and I'm trying to learn right now. And I also don't want to learn too much because I like the whimsy. But can whimsy be knowledge? We're gonna get there. I'm looking at all these power lines and I'm taking fucking notes on conductors and how arcing is scary and la 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 and all this stuff. Also, the underground power line conversation, so interesting too, because it's like not better or worse, it's just different. It's just like different for different things. Like, you take out the aspect of lightning, but you add in the aspect of flooding. So it's like you just choose your problem kind of thing. The other thing with the power lines is like, I don't know how or what, and this is a whole nother conversation. It's like, how do you make something look like it has a function without understanding the function. And there's this weird trust because, like, I don't want to say as a kid because that's, like, feels a little silly because everybody does this, I feel. And my hair's been like this whole time. Whatever. When I look at, like, a power line, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. But I know it works. Because it does. You know? And is, like, that enough of a proof? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, like, you sometimes, like, you go into, what's, like, a stupid example? Like, have you ever worked retail and you go into a retail thing and, like, the phone cord is breaking, and so the phone has to be set up in a certain way. So there's a phone that's teetering on top of a Kleenex box with a drink put next to it with the cord up on the drink so that it has an angle. And it's like, you look at this thing and you're like, I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like I shouldn't touch it because it's doing something that I don't understand. And in that scenario, that same feeling is true. That same experience of, like, what the fuck? There's a thing going on here that I just don't know. Possibly. And but it's happening. But in this example, it's not for the utmost of function. Or maybe it is. But in this moment, it's like it's not at its best efficiency. Power lines, on the other example, they have, like, cost effectiveness, and everything is already fledged out and already thought of and already, like, they are the way that they are so that they are the best. You know, like, they're put high up so that you don't hit them. They're put distance, like the conductors, the lines are put at a distance from each other so that they don't have to insulate them because that would be too expensive. So they just take up more space. Like, there's stuff like that that's efficient, but it's like, I look at a power line and I would be like, okay, it's built for efficiency. But it's like, how do I know? How do I know that that thing is built for efficiency? How do I know that the cord on the drink on the thing is working and like, it exists the way that it's existing right now? And then how much of that is a lie, which gets into this whole other fucking thing. Because it's like, this is a lie. This is a lie. This is not for function. This is not for an efficiency. But can I make this still feel like it is functioning at its peak, at its best efficiency? Can I still make something? This is the worst drawing of this. Can I still make something? Like, you look at this and you're like, yes, that is the way that it is. It has a purpose. It has its function. Tell me what that is. I don't know. I know now. But, like, and then I get into this whole thing with specifically of the power lines because I'm just interested in them. I think they're cool. I don't know if I think they're cool physically, like, to look at. Like, oh, I like that it looks like this. I don't know if I like that part or if I like the function part, because I honestly like both. And I do think that they are symbiotic. And then that's the other thing is, like, if you looked at a power line and it wasn't working, could you tell? Yes, if there was a tree in it, I could tell. Shut up. Could you tell if it was on or off? No, you couldn't. Engineers, shut the fuck up. And that's what I want to get into, is, like, can you tell that this thing is working or not by the way that it is?